Hello everybody, this is Starman and welcome back to Let's Play the Pandora Directive Mission Street. Well, last time you'll remember we saved Emily from the NSA agent posing as the Black Arrow Killer. So first things first, we're going to go talk to her and see what she knows about our target, Dr. Thomas Malloy, and who might be trying to kill her and him.
Come on in. Glad you came by. Have you had any problems with the cops?
No, nothing serious.
You want a drink?
Sure.
Bourbon. Straight up, right?
Right. How'd you guess?
Physiognomy. It's a hobby of mine. You can tell almost anything about a person by their facial features.
So I guess I have a bourbon face.
Something like that. Listen, Murphy, I've got to apologize for the other night. See, that note that Emily got shook me up pretty bad. Though, I didn't want her to know I was worried.
Well, don't sweat it. I guess I kind of have a distrustful face. Of course, that'd be your department.
Well, I do want to thank you. You saved Emily's life.
So she's okay?
She's pretty rattled. But she isn't hurt. If you'd come in any later than you did. She's upstairs, sleeping it off.
I'm fine, Gus. I couldn't sleep anymore. Gus told me what you did. I don't know how to thank you.
Well, I guess we cut it pretty close, but I'm glad you're okay.
Thanks.
Listen, Emily, it's not too much trouble. I'd like to ask you a few more questions.
Come on, Murphy. She's been through enough already. Cops grilled her last night. Let's let it rest for a while.
It's okay, Gus. I owe him. A couple more questions isn't gonna hurt me. Go ahead, Tex.
Alright, well, first of all...
Thomas is my husband.
Pardon me for being stupid, but let me get this straight. You're Thomas Malloy's wife?
Yeah, we were married about a year ago.
So where's your husband?
I don't know.
Well, do you have any idea why he doesn't want you to know where he is?
No. He just said it'd be better for me. Safer for me. I honestly don't know why he left.
The man who attacked you last night took something from your apartment. Looked like a small box. Do you know what it was?
No. I mean, I don't know what was in it. I couldn't figure out how to open it.
How'd you get it?
Well, Thomas sent it to me. I don't know why anyone would want it.
How did it arrive?
Through some delivery service. It was wrapped in plain brown wrapper.
How'd you know Thomas sent it to you?
Well, I recognized the handwriting on the outside of the wrapper. It was just plain brown paper. I threw it out, I guess. I don't know where it is. I really don't know too many people around here. This is Thomas, all right. I'm so worried about him. He doesn't look well, does he? Sorry. Did you ask Gus?
Okay, I guess he didn't tell her what alias he was using.
Thomas didn't tell me very much about his past.
Yeah, I think it's entirely random what clips you get when you ask about certain things.
It's not a very glamorous name. When I make it big, I'll change it to something more exciting.
That is a very odd expression and thing to talk about. Yeah.
Oh, that's just a silly name Gus came up with. He didn't want anyone around here knowing my real name. Gus is an old friend. He's always taken good care of me.
Oh, heck, my always was about that.
No, thank you.
Okay, I don't think we're gonna get anything else useful out of Emily.
Actually, I'm feeling really beat. I'm gonna go back to bed. I'll see you guys later.
She's a real trooper, isn't she?
Yeah. Murphy, I really owe you. If you ever need a favor, just name it.
Thanks. Keep that in mind. Right now, I need as much information as I can get about Malloy.
I'll tell you what I know.
All right then.
If I knew where he was, I'd tell you. But I haven't heard from him for almost a month. Yeah, that's Malloy. Looks like it was taken recently. Doesn't sound familiar. I checked out the box Emily received, but I couldn't figure out how to open it.
All right.
I think I threw it out in the dumpster behind the club. It might still be there.
And that is the last we're going to get out of either of them.
That looks like it could be the brown paper wrapper from the package Malloy sent to Emily. It's snagged up on the light post, though.
If only I had some sort of long extendable pole. The PI God
Looks like a
smiles
metal
upon
rod.
us.
Maybe an antenna. If this antenna isn't busted, I might be able to extend it. There we go.
Well, maybe the PI God does not smile upon us, but he begrudgingly looks upon us with a slightly wistful look.
Oh, there's no return address or name. But there has to be something here that will give me a lead to Malloy. Maybe I need to take a closer look.
Well, it's not as if I had some sort of device capable of looking at things up close.
So, the microdot on the wrapper contains a PB meter number. Probably some kind of postal code. Must identify which post office the package was sent from. Now I just need to find someone who would know which post office that is.
And I think I know somebody who would know exactly what post office box that is, but one little bit of business we have to tend to locally first. Because if you'll remember in the video of our struggle with Dag Horton, he dropped something. And my amazing eagle eyes, private eagle eyes, if you will, I can see this all the way from over here.
This thing must have fallen out of Horton's pocket.
And behold, I shall telekinetically summon it to me without having to walk to the other roof.
Oh, this is a tracking device. Maybe Horton stashed the box he stole from Emily's apartment and was planning on using this to locate the box later. This operates the way most tracking devices do. The sound it emits will speed up the closer I get to the target.
And I can try turning it on here, but up on the roof, there won't do me much good.
There's too much interference up here for this thing to work. I better take it down to the street.
Actually, we're going to go below the street.
This is a
It is in fact right here, but in order to get at it, we have to go grab this thing here, which thankfully just happened to be here.
A chisel. Maybe someone's been down here doing some prospecting.
Which What kind of, prospecting can you hope to do in a sewer? I mean, it's not like like we're in, Waterdeep or some city where the sewers actually are filled with treasure.
Whoa. A small device is attached to the box. I'd better take a closer look before I do anything rash. Oh, it's a Claiborne mine. I've read about these. To deactivate it, the red photons must be transferred to the left, and vice versa for the green. They're transferred by using the small shuttle that has 3 black stripes on it and is now on the red side. The transfer chamber must be powered by a red or green power cell, which is lighter color than the others. Red or green photons can be in the same chamber and in the shuttle, but if there's more of one color than the other, it creates an imbalance and the shuttle won't transfer.
And you have to wonder why they have this sort of mechanism on there in the first place so any schmuck can deactivate it. Thankfully, this is a pretty easy puzzle. It's a variation on the old puzzle about the man with the basket full of cabbages, the goat, and the wolf. You just have to keep your things balanced as you're transferring them. Okay, then this time I take the green power cell in red and transfer it across. And I take the red power cell in a green one and ferry it across. And I take the red power cell in the last 2 red. And I take the green power cell in the last 2 green.
This box has holes drilled all over the top. I'll need to find whatever goes in those holes in order to get this box open.
Yes, we must fill those holes. Oh, grow up.
Uncle Sam wants to see you.
Oh man, this isn't about those parking tickets.
Shut up.
All right. My new acquaintance is a good deal less cordial than the police were earlier. I'm thrown into the back of a black Avatar speeder. A few minutes later, we fly into the industrial sector and land by a familiar building. Autotech. I'm led inside, straight to Jackson Cross's office.
Welcome, Mr. Murphy. Please make yourself comfortable. Do you know where you are?
Somewhere between a rock and a hard spot?
That's correct. Do you know who I work for?
Well, if it's about that student loan, I think you and I could work out a reasonable payment schedule.
This guy's a real joker, isn't he? Mr. Murphy, did you ever hear of the Graham Act? That's an executive order that was enacted about 40 years ago when the United States was having trouble with terrorist groups. It gives our agency carte blanche when dealing with internal security matters. So don't dick with me, Murphy. I'll pull out my gun and blow your face off.
Okay, no joking around.
Well then, I guess you work for the NSA.
Bravo. Give the man a big cigar. Now to the next question. Do you know why you're here?
Might have something to do with the guy who fell off the roof.
Your actions contributed to the death of an NSA agent. Not to mention the small matter of interfering with an NSA investigation. Now you've got 1 minute to tell me all you know, or you'll find yourself the latest victim of the Graham Act.
A girl hired me to find out who was stalking her. I kept an eye on her place. I saw your guy in her apartment. I chased him to the roof. He pulled out a gun. He tried to shoot me. We struggled and he fell.
We've known for some time that high-level drug deals were going on at the Fuchsia Flamingo. That night, a shipment of euphoria was to be delivered. We had our agent at the girl's apartment to make the bust. Her life was never in any danger.
Bullshit!
You screwed up. I know that you're still holding something back. What is it?
Look, I didn't ask to get mixed up in this case. I'm just a small-time PI. And all I want to do right now is get out of your hair and go back to doing what people do when they're alive.
Well, that's it. There's nothing more you want to tell me.
Oh, well, there is one more thing. Your agent found a small metal box at the Flamingo.
So you do have it. You should have said so in the first place. Now, do you want to tell us where it is?
Will you cut me a deal?
Oh, I'm not much of one for compromises, Mr. Murphy. Get me the box. I'll see what kind of mood I'm in.
I've got it right here. Take it.
So you beat us to the box. You impress me, Murphy. I'm going to do you the favor of a lifetime. I'm going to let you walk. But if I catch you meddling in NSA affairs one more time, I'm going to put a bullet right in your eyeball. Is that clear? Get this pukehead out of my office. I'll be watching you, Murphy.
Yeah, this is good. You can drop me anywhere along here.
We will.
The NSA thugs are courteous enough to drop me off back at the Ritz. When I get to my apartment, I notice the door is slightly ajar. The government boys probably spent some time in my office looking for the box. Hello.
I hope you don't mind. The door was open.
Well, I hope I didn't keep you waiting too long.
Nice place you got here. Decorate it yourself?
No. My housekeeper just started on Prozac.
Have a seat.
Well, thank you.
So, aren't you gonna thank me?
You pulled my chestnuts out of the fire the other night, didn't you? I didn't get a chance to thank you because you left so quickly. I want to know why you did it.
Oh, I'm sure you have women doing all kinds of crazy things just to get your attention.
You don't know me very well, do you? When a woman pays attention to me, generally I'm so stunned, I don't do anything about it.
I doubt that very much. So you drink bourbon, huh?
Yeah, I can afford it.
Yamas.
Yamas. Sounds Greek to me.
That's Greek to everybody.
I knew that. So, Ms.
Madsen. Regan Madsen. But I'd prefer you call me Regan.
Okay, Regan. You can call me Tex.
That's not your real name. What is it?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Try me.
Sorry. I gotta know somebody pretty thoroughly before I come clean on that one.
Well, then, maybe you should get to know me pretty thoroughly. So where's the box?
Box. Yeah, I got lots of boxes. What size do you need?
You know what I'm talking about.
I do not.
You like to play games, Tex. So do I. What's your angle?
I don't have an angle, Miss Madsen. My business is my own. I don't have a partner, and I don't like small talk. You're a very beautiful woman. Extremely beautiful woman. But that doesn't make any difference as far as I'm concerned.
Tough, too. I have a proposition for you. First of all, you should know, I didn't just stumble into this part of town by accident. I've been looking for somebody.
And who might that be?
Thomas Malloy.
I gotta find out about this guy. He knows all the beautiful women in town.
He's my father.
Oh.
I heard you were asking around about him, and I thought I'd see what you found out.
You said something about boxes.
Still playing the game? My father sent out several boxes lately. The NSA was closing in on him and he started to panic. I'm not exactly sure what was in the boxes or however many he sent out, but whoever finds all those boxes is going to come into an ungodly amount of money.
So what's your proposition?
I've already got one of the boxes. You give me the one you have, and I'll cut you in on the deal. Help me locate the others, and we'll have more money than you ever imagined. That's my proposition, plain and simple. You'll probably want some time to think this over. Why don't you call me at this number when you're ready to talk? Don't lose that number, Tex. I think we'd make a perfect fit.
Well, Regan Madsen sure knows how to make a first impression. The question is she on the level? There's no way to know if she's really Malloy's daughter or if she knows any more about the boxes than I do. I wonder if Fitzpatrick has any knowledge of the boxes, or Regan for that matter. There's a lot more involved here than just tracking down an old friend, and I'm right in the middle of it.
And on top of everything else, now we've got a message.
Hey, I finally got you at home. What's going on?
That was an actual call, not a message, but playing it cool here.
Oh, the usual. I've been shot at twice. I was called in for questioning by the cops and had an NSA agent threaten to blow my brains out.
Oh, the things men say to impress their women. Hey, called to see how much you miss me.
Let's see. A lot, sort of. No gushing. Make a sly offer.
Well, why don't you fly back here and I'll show you. Right here on my big old desk.
Okay, He-Man. I'll let you get back to being bored and lonely without me. You know, I'm not going to be staying here too much longer. I should be home in a week or so. And I've got something that I think you're really going to like.
Establish perimeters, make a guess. Teasing is oh so painful.
I bet I guess what it is. It's one of those special fedoras with the built-in beer spout.
Oh, I think you'll like this even better. I've got to go now. See you, Tex.
Well, I think we're still on a good path there. But as long as we're in the phone interface.
Hello, Mr. Murphy. How are your efforts progressing?
I have a few leads. Called to see if you could give me some additional information.
I'll be happy to tell you anything I know.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and ask about Regan, see if Thomas Molly actually does have a daughter.
Thomas had a daughter named Regan. She was very young when I knew her in China. I can't say that this Regan Madsen is Thomas's daughter.
So, gotta be careful.
Intriguing. If you find this puzzle box, I'd like to have a look at it.
Well, definitely want to try and find that one again. Let's see, anything else?
The NSA is a dangerous group. I've dealt with them before, and I have no desire to do it again. But I fear we may have no choice. The name is new to me.
Okay, didn't know the old friend's daughter. And I think that will do it on that regard. Go ahead and examine Regan's note. So yeah, the main ever lead we've got is that now we've got that post office box. I think we'll go ahead and walk around the neighborhood real quick.
Hey, let me buy you a drink, mate.
Well, only if you insist. Make it a big one, okay?
I heard you saved that girl up at the Flamingo. The least I can do for our local hero is to buy him a drink.
Yeah, let's go for modesty.
She and I, we both got lucky.
Listen, Mike, if you don't give yourself credit, no one else will. So what else can I do for you?
Well, nothing at the moment, I think.
I'm pretty sure I've never heard that name.
Well, there was the hope. And just because it'll be good for a few points if we go deal with Rook without giving in to our urge to be all sarcastic and rude.
So, you saved the girl at the Flamingo and caught the man who attacked her. So I suppose you think you're some sort of a big shot.
Back at you. You said it. Mock humility.
Yeah, damn straight. Now maybe you'll give me the respect I deserve.
Respect? Bah! You may have everyone else fooled, but I know dumb luck when I see it. I suppose you want me to help you again.
Nope. Just came by to rub it in your face. And even though I don't think we ever get anything else out of Clint...
I heard you saved Emily the other night. She's a real nice girl. I guess you're not as big a bonehead as I thought.
Tongue-in-cheek response, exemplary humility. We'll go with the B.
My friend, I was just doing my job. Man, I'm nothing too special.
I didn't say you were special, did I? What's on your mind?
Yep, we didn't give him the chance to get to us. So with that done, let's go talk to somebody who will know something about that P.O. box we found.
What can I do for you, Murphy?
That's the code for the post office in the Mission District.
Easy enough.
I land my speeder outside the post office Mac referred me to. The counter help fails to live up to its name, but a professional loiterer working outside seems to recognize Malloy in the photo. For half a pack of smokes, he suggests I check out several boarding houses in the area. After pounding the pavement for over an hour, I arrive at a quaint brownstone called the Garden House.
And now we get another opportunity to be the good and noble hero and not do the lying, cheating, Weasley bad guy path.
Hello there. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for a man named Thomas Malloy. Is he staying here?
Let me think. No, none of my guests is named Malloy.
Here's a photograph of him.
Oh, Oh, heavens, yes. He moved in last week. Such a nice man.
Well, I know he seems very nice, but he's really a sick man. You know, nuts. He's got a terrible case of Murphy Bar syndrome.
My goodness, he seems so lucid.
Yes, that's the scary part.
I'm so sorry.
Get up on a pedestal, break down with grief.
No, it's just so hard to see Uncle Thomas turning into a horrible zombie of a man.
Wish you, my nephew. Your uncle's not in right now, but I'll let you into his room. You can wait for him up there. Okie dokie?
Okay, well, lying to old ladies isn't exactly the most virtuous thing, but at least we did go through that in the most economical and least obnoxious way possible. At least that's what I'm going to tell myself so I can sleep tonight. But hey, this ain't bad for, rented apartment.
A book of puzzles. Maybe it has some word searches in it. I love word searches. A collection of the Bay City Mirror's daily anagram puzzles. If I ever really get stuck on an anagram, at least I've got a connection at the newspaper. A solid maple roll-top desk. I'd kill for a desk like this. Well, maybe I just maim somebody. Looks like a business card. Cosmic Connection magazine. I seem to remember Fitzpatrick saying something about this.
I don't actually think Fitzpatrick ever said anything about that to us.
These drawers look searchable. It's an envelope addressed to someone named Elijah Witt. These drawers look nothing to find.
Well, they look searchable, but I don't believe there's anything else in the 4 on the outside.
Nothing to.
Yep, nothing there.
A disc. I'll bet whatever's on here will get me a lead. I can run it on the computer back at the office. I remember Fitzpatrick telling me about the Cosmic Connection magazine. Looks like a sci-fi rag to me.
A magazine with its head in the stars. Okay, business card for an Everlock titanium safe.
Looks like the closet door. It's all locked up.
I wonder if Malloy's key might...
Well, that won't work.
Okay, that key goes someplace else, clearly. And I think we're done here for the moment.
What can I do for you, Murphy?
Well, I think there was one more thing we could ask him about.
We've had the NSA push us out of the way a couple of times. When they say jump, we start jumping and don't stop until they say so. We confirmed his identity before the NSA showed up. I don't know anything else about him. She came down to the station and asked about you. It's a good thing she vouched for you, too, or you might still be a guest here.
Alright, well, nothing of any use there, so Let's head on back to the office. And start making a few more phone calls.
Looks like Regan isn't home right now. I'll have to try later.
Alright, let's try Lucia Purnell.
This is Lucia Purnell. I'm not at my desk right now, but if you leave your name and vid phone number, maybe I'll get back to you.
Alright. So clearly we can't call anybody yet. So I think we'll go ahead and pursue the one other lead we've got at the moment. Because that key that we got from Gary should let us into the warehouse, I think. Yep.
What's this? It's a crate with Thomas Malloy's name stenciled right on the side. Sheesh. The way my luck's been going, this will probably be my next apartment.
Arr, well, shiver me timbers. It's a pirate's chest.
Ah, no treasure.
Must belong to the guy with a hook. That's a nasty hook. You can put an eye out with that thing. Sword looks pretty sharp. It's probably the reason for the peg leg.
Well, blow me down. It's a Lucky Pierre signature souvenir pirate hat.
Arr, a peg leg. I hope all the prosthetic devices didn't belong to the same pirate.
Now, of all that junk, we wind up taking the peg leg. Because shockingly, this will be useful to us. Because we need a peg to make this work. And that just happens to be a literal peg. Just want to hit raise.
This panel must operate. That up.
Alright, that will do the trick then.
These crates are all rotting comfortably.
Hello, what's this underneath?
Looks like something fell out of Malloy's crate.
Map of Asia.
What's this? It's a crate with Thomas Malloy's name stenciled right on the side. Plains of Nazca. I don't see any airplanes. It's a rug or a wall hanging. Well, this is certainly an interesting design. I wonder what type of symbols these are.
Well, they look Mayan to me.
What's this? It's a crate with Thomas Malloy's name stenciled right on the side.
And that is everything we can loot out of there. Health department notice. I won't actually let us read that. This building is condemned by the City of San Francisco Department of Health and Human Services. Yeah, that sign is from last time, I think. Well, the only other clue we have is that disc that we found in Malloy's apartment. So let's see what we can do with that. And, of course, it requires a security code that we don't have. maybe we missed something before. Hello?
This pair of jeans wasn't here before. I guess Malloy must have come back and then left again.
Alright, rental receipt.
This warehouse address is 54 Front Street. That's in the waterfront area.
Alright. Well, let's head on over there.
Dr. Thomas Malloy, I presume.
You're NSA, aren't you?
No, sir, I'm not NSA. My name's Tex Murphy, and I'm a private investigator. I was hired by a friend of yours.
I don't have any friends, Mr. Murphy.
Well, what about Gordon Fitzpatrick?
Fitz. Good old Fitz. I wonder why he sent you after me.
Are you all right?
Give me some water, will you? Thanks. I've led an excessive life, and I'm afraid the bill is coming due. Now listen, Murphy. What I'm going to tell you could help Fitzpatrick continue my work. The only catch is I'll put you in the same danger I'm in.
Don't let that stop you. Danger's a little like Jell-O. Always room for a little more.
Ever hear of Project Blue Book?
Sounds familiar.
Have you ever heard of Roswell?
Yeah. About 100 years ago, there was an apparent UFO crash. And the government came out and said it was just a weather balloon.
A weather balloon? It was no damn weather balloon. It was a spacecraft. The Roswell incident was the greatest disinformation campaign of all time.
So what was the connection between Roswell and Project Blue Book?
Well, Roswell is where Project Blue Book became Project Blueprint. Now, you probably never heard about it, seeing as how you're still alive.
Why do I have the feeling you're about to lower my odds in that department? Do you mind?
In 1947, an alien spacecraft crashed in the desert outside Roswell, New Mexico. The wreckage was taken to the Air Force Base nearby for testing. And of course, they were looking for weapons.
Sounds like the military hasn't changed too much. If you don't mind me asking, Doctor, how do you fit into all of this?
In 1984, I came on board Project Blueprint. My job was to carry on the work of deciphering the hieroglyphics found in the spacecraft. Anyway, in early 1996, word of a breakthrough spread throughout the complex. Now, apparently someone had discovered that one of the alien instruments could generate minute quantities of anti-hydrogen. The big boys in Washington were ecstatic. Now, if you remember, the desert standoff was in effect, and we were looking for a technological edge over the Middle East bloc. Now, we had it in the palm of our hands. But unfortunately, as you know, things went very wrong.
That's the understatement of the century.
Well, the military was in such a hurry they didn't take time to do any testing. Instead, they started a political incident, then proceeded to bomb the hell out of the Middle East.
Greatest snafu in history.
Now, after the war, I left the military, but I managed to smuggle out all my notes and other important items from Roswell. And I secretly continued my research.
Okay, Malloy, don't move! I said freeze!
And there was the single worst line reading
Put it down!
in the whole game.
Look, I'm supposed to bring you back alive, not in a body bag. Think so.
I'm not going with such a terrible actor!
No! Back off! Back off! My orders were to bring in Malloy alive. But I guess that doesn't apply to you, does it?
Oh, in that case. You mind?
And yeah. Day 5. The Pandora device. Then that sounds suitably ominous.
I'd found Malloy just in time to watch him take a bullet. I wasn't sure whether that qualified as solving the case or not. Either way, I had to tell Fitzpatrick the bad news. He comes by my office, and I fill him in on what's happened. Second agent opened fire.
No!
Killed him. I barely got out of it alive. So for the next few minutes, I relate the events that led up to finding Malloy. But it's clear that his death is only part of the reason for Fitzpatrick's reaction. He's been withholding information from me since the beginning. Now it's time to find out what he knows about Malloy's work.
An unfortunate turn of events. Extremely unfortunate. Well, I guess this brings our partnership to an end. What do I owe you?
I think you owe me some details.
To what do you refer?
Look, Malloy was onto something big. He was just about to tell me until someone turned him into a corkboard. I want to know what happened. But most of all, I want to know what's going on here.
No, don't get into it. Forget this business. Take the money and walk away.
It's too late. I'm already involved. Now 1, possibly 3 NSA agents are dead. And for some strange reason, they're going to think that I'm involved with all this. And even if I wanted to drop out right now, the odds are they're going to find me and fill me with so much lead, they're going to be able to use me as a pencil. But aside from that, Malloy was onto something big. And those boxes are the key.
You know about the boxes?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that puts a different light on things, doesn't it?
Yeah, I told you about the box yesterday.
Well, if you insist on staying with this, becoming involved, as you say, I've got to be able to be sure that I can rely on you, trust you. You know, this isn't the kind of thing that you can sort of dabble in and then back away.
Well, normally I do have a little problem with commitment. But on this, I'm in 100%.
All right. Thomas Malloy and I, scientific researchers, were working together in Roswell. And we became friends. Our friendship really developed when we were transferred to China after the great disaster of World War III. After some time, Malloy took me into his confidence and showed me what he'd been secretly working on, translating ancient alien hieroglyphics taken from the crash of that Roswell spacecraft.
So you know what it is he was going to tell me?
No, I don't think so. Not really. I knew that he'd been, deciphering these ancient hieroglyphics. Some of the symbols that were found there, the dominating symbol seemed to be, or the dominating information seemed to be, that there was a second spacecraft approaching the Earth. And there was a continuing, recurring symbol of a black sun. Mysterious. He didn't get that at all. That really bugged him.
Well, this is all really interesting. But it's not the kind of information somebody kills for.
Tex, screw your head on straight! I'm ready to believe there is a second spacecraft down somewhere on this planet Earth unfound. Now, imagine that spacecraft filled with a technology that none of us have ever dreamed of. Imagine what someone would do to obtain that technology. Imagine what the government would do. Wouldn't it be worth killing for?
Yep.
You've got one of the boxes, don't you?
I do. Receiving it led me to believe that my friend's life was in danger.
Well, then you probably know more about the boxes than I do.
Variations on a Chinese puzzle box. Thomas said, Tom had maybe 4, 5, or 6 of them made to his specifications while he was in China. Just some kind of a novelty, I think.
Do you know how to open them?
No. Never occurred to me to ask. Now, what do you know about the boxes?
Well, I had one. Then the NSA picked me up. They gave me a choice between giving them the box or having my brains blown out.
Recovering that box has got to be our first priority. Otherwise, I doubt we can continue.
That's not going to be easy. I'll see what I can do. Just one more thing. You talked a lot about trusting me. Why should I trust you?
Mr. Murphy, I have more money and other vanities than I could possibly ever use. My purpose in being here, at the center, if there is a center to all this, is to follow the trail towards which my old friend pointed me. I don't know where it will lead, but I intend to reach that end.
I guess we're in business. There's something about Fitzpatrick that makes me trust him totally, though I have been wrong in that area before. He knows about the boxes, same as Regan does, but their motivations seem to be worlds apart. I figure my best strategy is to stay right here on the middle ground. The fact of the matter is, I want to know what Malloy was going to tell me. That's my motivation. And the first step from here is to recover the box I handed over to the NSA.
You have a fax. You have a fax.
That's unexpected. And that unexpected fax is where we will pick things up next time.